So my name's Steve Backley. I'm a retired javelin thrower. Competed at, I suppose, the highest level of sport. Went to 4 Olympic Games. Had a wonderful time, but I also learned a lot of skills along the way. And one of which was very much around the whole aspect of visualization, and the concept that you can preempt the future by thinking and seeing and feeling what the future might hold in your mind's eye. And I probably did that naturally as an athlete, as a youngster, dreamed about the future, what it might hold for me. But then kind of learned some pretty powerful skills along the way that really crystallized the concept of visualization, that ability to really hone in on the detail. And I had some pretty amazing experiences doing this. One in particular was around the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, where I had a bit of misfortune in rupturing my Achilles tendon just 14 weeks out from the Olympic Games. Woke up in my hospital bed thinking that the Games was all over. But I had a great team of people around me, and I guess that's where the story starts, that I didn't have all the answers and was very happy to take input from others. And the first of those was my physio and my doctor who did the surgery, but another guy on the scene at that time really helped me, a guy called Paul McKenna, who was a stage hypnotist, but also a wonderful sports psychologist, and he helped me visualize. And by visualize I mean sort of seeing in full color, HD, 3D, in absolute clarity, my perfect throw, if you like, and I mean in absolute clarity, to the point where we broke down the perfect throw to 6.23 seconds, and that not 6.24, not 6.22, and it was a matter of getting it absolutely dead on. And we practiced it, and when I first started I was okay, but I realized I was improving by practicing it, which was a bit of an insight in itself. And before long I was able to get that down to plus or minus 1/100th of a second, which amazed me as one thing. And then I had this quite weird opportunity. I'm overselling it now. I had the difficult situation of getting ready for Olympic Games without any physical preparation. So I wasn't able to go and do the sprinting, the jumping, the throwing, the power work, or the strength work that a javelin thrower would need to do. What I did is I would lie on the high jump mat when the other guys are warming up, and I would visualize. And I remember them looking at me thinking, what's he doing? What's he doing? And what I was doing was literally seeing that throw over and over again in my mind's eye. And then as an Olympian, at an Olympic Games, of course, you get your turn. Your name comes up on the clock. The clock starts, you get 1 minute to deliver your throw. And I remember standing in that first round of Olympic Games, and I'd be wrong to say that I was full of, yes, and this is going to work, and I visualise, and I've got Paul McKenna on my side. There was an element that was part of me that said, really? Is that going to work? Are you sure? And I guess my mind was what it was. It questioned, but it answered by saying, well, what other options have you got? And what really else can you do other than just visualize and make it as clear as possible? And now's the time. So I remember kind of the blinkers kind of coming on and zoning into that perfect feeling of the perfect throw. And the feeling's key for me, because the little mantra that Paul taught me was, first of all, to see it in my mind's eye, then turn that into a feeling. And that was a really important step, that I had to feel that. And then the last one was probably even more important again, was to trust it. So see it, feel it, trust it became the daily mantra prior, but also at that moment of the pressure of the first round of Olympic Games. And I'll never forget, I kind of pressed the go button, and it was almost like my body just knew what to do. It knew, it almost took over, and it fell into the exact positions, in the exact rhythm, with the exact timing, the exact balance and the coordination, all those minor details that I'd preempted in my mind's eye. It did it for me. And the javelin jumped out of my hand, and amazingly it was leading the Olympic Games. it wasn't enough to win. I was pleased just to be there, but it was enough to come away with a silver medal. And I had a lot of great experience as an athlete, world records, gold medals, European champion, so on. But that silver medal at that Olympic Games, I now look back and realise that it was probably my best achievement, and also it was a wonderful experience to kind of understand that it was about other people. It was about taking on a new skill, taking ownership of it, and testing it to the absolute maximum. So I'm very thankful to have been taught it, shown it, learned it, and delivered using it. The great news about visualization is that anyone can do it. You don't need anything. It's free. And I guess the other great news is that the worst thing that could happen is nothing. You know, it's a great place to start. That, you know, that it's not going to have a negative impact. It can only have a positive one. And I think what it comes down to is how much we trust it, how much we can buy into it, and completely immerse ourselves in seeing whatever we choose to see. And if we completely immerse ourselves and completely buy into that, whoever we are, whatever our circumstances, we can possibly get to the next rung on the ladder. And that's a great place to be.